Yo, what's poppin' guys? Welcome to another Scratch tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to do a 3D raycasting system. If you don't know what that means, it means it's 3D. You'll be a first person walking around like a 3D, who knows, like a maze or something. You'll see. Trust me, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be 3D. It's gonna look awesome. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be 3D. You get to walk around a huge map, however big you want it to be. It's gonna be great. Alright? Alright, cool. So, let me show you how to do it. Obviously, delete the little cat man, and we're gonna name it whatever you want to name it. I'm just gonna name it Ray Casting Tutorial. Boom. Beautiful. See, it says Ray Casting Tutorial? Exactly. Because that's what I made it say. Say. Oh, sorry, I had to sneeze. Alright, so, what we're going to do now is we're going to make a new sprite. Name it whatever you want, but this is the map. So I'm making a map sprite. Here we are. And now this is where you make your map. So fill it in whatever color. I'm just going to use black. And then with your select tool so that it becomes then nothing. This is not white. This is empty. This is empty space, not just a white square. Or you're going to make your map. So let's say I want mine to be like that's where we'll spawn or something. Actually, what am I doing? That's where we'll spawn. You can go that way. You can go that way. You can go that way. And that way. That's like if it's a maze-like thing. These two connect. This kind of like comes over to here and then like comes down and then up and then up. And then these two connect. And then it also goes this way. And then down. And then connects over to this one. Yeah, that's where we'll get them. This comes all the way down like that. It also can go into that one. Oh yeah, that'll get them. That's just a loop. But how about we add like a little tiny path that hopefully no one notices right here. Just like that. I'll make it so you can still loop into that. You can come up here. I'm not actually going to make a maze. I'm just going to make something to walk around him. Just a big ol' empty space. I'll make a long path coming here. That connects into there. Alright, here's my map. I made it pretty quickly. Make sure you center it. Make sure to go 0, 0 here. Oh. Go ahead, hit save. And then get a sprite. That when the green flag is clicked, go to 0, 0 and set ghost effect to 100 so we won't be able to see the map. That's very important. You don't want to be able to see this, all right, because you're going to be doing this in 3D. Like your character will be here and you'll be able to like move around here, but it'll look like you're first person. If that doesn't make sense, it will in a second, trust me. So name that map because I guess whatever. So, what we need to do now is we need to make a person sprite that can, walk around the map. We want to make a new sprite for that person, and this is super important. I'm just gonna call it person. This is super important. Make sure that your player sprite is only 1 pixel. 1 pixel. So just go to the paintbrush, type in 1. You'll get this one little pixel. And put it as close to the middle as you can. You won't be able to get it exactly on the middle, see, because it only does that. Just pick one of those. I'm just going to do that one. And look at that. You got your little sprite. It's your little tiny dot. Got to figure out where he is. Let's just try to do a 0, 0 and see if that makes him go to the center. Yeah, he's there. You see, he's right here. You can't really tell, though. Like when I hit this, he shows up on the map. It was right here. See that? Alright, cool. That's where we'll spawn now. That's where I'll have him spawn. So, onto your person sprite. When the green flag is clicked, go to 0, 0. You won't have to do 0, 0, right? I'm doing 0, 0 because that's where he is. This is where I want him to start, right? You can make him start wherever you want. You could figure out, like right here, you can figure out where this is, right? Like what coordinates this is, and then make them spawn there. You could do here, here, here. You could do anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't do it in a wall because then you won't be able to move. But, you know, it's good. Just make sure it's in an area that is open. Don't make it inside of one of the walls. That will make it not work. Alright, so next what we need to do is we also need to set this one's your player's ghost effect to 100 as well, because we don't want to be showing the little dot, even though it's pretty much invisible anyways. Don't want to be showing it. We're going to make an event. We're going to grab a broadcast and wait, and we're going to broadcast sense. Alright. And forever, we're going to set up the movements right now. So forever, if right arrow key pressed, we're sensing, there it is. If key right arrow pressed, so you know, WASD, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to do arrows, because, you know, I feel like it. So if right arrow key pressed, turn, that'd be right. Turn right 3 degrees. You can obviously change these. I might change them in a bit. I'm just doing some basic ones right now. Copy the whole thing. Go ahead, do left, grab this, turn it like that, make that 3. My goodness, excuse me. Duplicate it again, make this up, or W. Then we're going to make ourselves a block. And we're going to name this block. Let's call it move. And put a number. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that should work. That should work. Okay, so here we go. Now we have move for up, right? Right there. And then we're going to make a variable. I'll just rename my variable to speed. How fast our guy moves. Don't need to show that. Put speed in there. And then right here. Oh, I copy pasted both of them. Don't need to do that. Just need to copy paste up. And make this down. Moves speed by, where's multiply? Grab yourself a multiplication. Do -1. -1 times speed. And then broadcast another sense. And wait. Grab yourself your move. Alright. Oh my goodness. I just realized something. Okay. Oh my goodness. I am slow. Okay, so we made this block wrong. Let me try this again. Alright. Move speed. Make sure that this, when you hit add an input number, make sure you set it as speed. That is super important, okay? Alright? It's important. Make sure you make that word speed. That is what makes it, you know, do good stuff, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Alright, cool. Speed, a move, -1, speed. Alright, there we go. Sorry. I'm sorry. Alright, what's next? What's next? We got to define move, right? So when you define move, you're going to grab your move, you know, your move blank steps, right? And you're going to make it move. The way you grab this speed, by the way, to put that in there, is right here on the define block. You can just pull that thing out and put it wherever you want. So you just grab that out and put it in the speed move speed steps. Then you're going to do if touching map. So again, let me explain what's going on. Well, actually, I'll finish this first and then I'll tell you what it does. So do move, grab a multiplication, -1. And then grab another speed and put that in there. Now what this is doing is, again, so we're going to create the illusion that we're in 3D, right? So our person will be moving around. We're moving around this little dot. Whenever we use the arrow keys, we're moving this dot around. And when he touches one of these walls, he'll move back. So this is just helping collision to make sure if he touches a wall, he doesn't go through it. That's what this is doing. So again, we're not actually doing a 3D thing. We're going to use pen and draw the lines and make it look like they're there when they're not. When in reality, you're really just doing this. And then you'll see, all right? You're doing a 2D maze, but we're making the illusion that it's 3D. All right? Cool. Now we're going to start building the 3D raycasting, because if you start right now, you got nothing, right? Let's say you made like this 0 and then the map 0. Right now, you'd have you know, maze. Let me just set the size to like 200 so you can see it. Okay, now you can see the dot. Just in case, I'll set it to like 1,000. Alright, you see the dot right there? And you move the arrow keys, and like, look. We haven't been able to move in a circle like that. Isn't that kind of cool? Of course it is. Alright, cool, you understand, you understand. Cool, cool, cool. Let me just set these ghost effects back to 100. Alright, cool, it works. So, what we need to do now is we need to make how it's going to draw, like how we're going to sense the distances between the walls and between the drawn walls as well. So, that's what we're going to do now. Alright? You guys ready? I am super ready. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to make a new sprite. And we're going to call it distance sensing. Right, here we go. Distance sensing, right there. And we're also going to make this one the same way, you know? Where we zoomed in super far and then just placed 1 pixel. Okay, this is another 1 pixel sprite. It's very important, 1 pixel, not 2, not 3, not 5, not 30, not 8 million. Cool. Just make sure it's 1 pixel. Alright, you don't want any weird, funky looking stuff while you're playing. What we need to do, under distance sensing sprite, when the green flag is clicked, set, where is it? Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is. Set ghost effect to 100 as well. You're not going to be seeing this. Alright, now that you've done that, you're going to... Remember when we made all those... Remember when we broadcasted sense? Let's see what happens when we receive it now. When we receive sense, we're going to make a block, right? And you're just going to call it sense. You don't need to add anything to this. Just make sure you hit run without screen refresh. What that means is that it won't update. Like, well, it will update. It'll just update faster than if you weren't to do this. Just trust me. Make sure you hit that. I'm bad at explaining. Just make sure you click that. It'll make it a lot better. Trust me. Could we line these up so I don't lose my sanity? Alright, cool, thank you. And then put sense under sense, and then broadcast and wait, broadcast, draw, and wait. And what's going to happen when it broadcasts draw is it's going to draw the world around us. And it's since we're not running without screen refresh, it'll do it super fast, so it'll keep redrawing the world over and over and over and over and over again. Someone just sneezed downstairs. I'm sorry. Alright, anyways. We got our big old draw right here. And now we need to define sense, right? Go into variables and go ahead and create yourself a list. Make this list called distances, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it distances for the sake of being easy. And we're going to start by deleting all of distances, just like that. And then we're going to go set distance. We're going to make a new variable. Wait, oh my goodness, wait, what? Hello? Alright, we need to make the variable. I'm dumb. Wow, I'm dumb. Alright, make the variable called distance. I'm super tired. I just got back from work. That's why this video is so late, by the way, too. So, set distance to 0. Make a new sprite called angle offset. Okay. And set angle offset to -48. Don't ask why. It's just that's the specific. It's the specific number. Any other number would be a little weird. This is the best one that I found, right? Making a 48 just makes it the best. I don't know. And then we're going to grab ourselves a repeat sign. Where is it? Where are we? There we are. And we're going to repeat 96 times for the 96 possible angles. Cool. So we're going to set distance to 0. Now, we're going to repeat this 96 times in like a second. It's going to be super quick. So 96 times. Set distance to 0. Go to random position and set that to person. So it's constantly going to be on top of our person sprite. So like instead of doing this in the person, when the person touches the wall, we're going to be sensing when the distance sensing sprite touches the wall, which is basically the same thing because they're both 1 pixel by 1 pixel right on top of each other, and they're constantly going to be following each other. Got it? Cool. We are going to grab a point in direction 90, and instead of 90, we are going to grab a addition sign, and we are going to go to sensing go ahead, grab this, and change this, the first backdrop number to, not distance, I'm sorry. Where is our direction? Give me a minute, I can find it. Give me a second. Am I on the wrong one? Hold up. Hold up. No, we should be good. Change this to person. There, oh yeah, right. Change it to person first. Sorry. Change it to person, then do direction. Because when we're on stage, which is the backdrop, the stage can't have a direction. It's always in one direction. Only sprites can have directions. Change this to person, then set this to direction. Very important. And then plus your angle offset. Alright, cool. Now we're going to grab a repeat until and smack that right underneath just like that. Go ahead, put an or statement in between. Grab an equals, set equals 80. And then make distance equal 80. If distance equals 80 or touching map, that's just another way. So the reason we do both of these is it checks 2 times just to make sure. In case one fails, the other won't. Alright, cool. So if touching edge or distance equals 80, you'll move 1 step. And then the second doesn't, right? It'll act as if we touched it. Cool. Everybody understand? Alright, awesome. Go ahead and do a change distance by 1. Alright. Then do add distance to distances and change angle offset by 1. And then there you go. Here is your distance sensing. Alright? And that is how you check how close or far away you are from a wall when you're moving around. Pretty cool, right? Whew. So, next we need to set up the drawing system, how we're going to draw the 3D. Because again, if you hit play, nothing happens. You don't see anything. You just see distance like go to 96. Why does it go 96? Because we repeated 96 times. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. So, now let's set up our drawing system. Alright, so let's get into it. Make a new sprite and call it draw, or whatever you want to call it. This doesn't have a thing, so don't even put anything in the costume. Just leave it blank. Now what we need to do is we need to, when I receive draw, we are going to make a new block, and we're going to call it draw, or whatever you want to call it. You don't need to do anything, just make sure you click run without screen refresh. And then once you hit OK, there you go. So when you receive draw, draw. Right? Now, what does it mean to draw? Let me show you. So, we are going to go to negative 237.5 and y 180. Now, why are we going to that specific coordinate? Because it puts it makes sure that the draw goes to the exact right position to begin drawing, which in this case is negative 237.5, 180. Cool. Now, now we need to add pen. Now, if you realize if you were using Scratch back in Scratch 2.0, there was a draw selection. You realize there's not a draw on the side here anymore. Now you might be wondering, how do we get the draw then? Come down here to this add extension button and go ahead and click that. And then you'll see your pen. Click your pen and it'll now show up at the bottom and you'll now be able to use it. Alright, cool. So go ahead and set your pen size, if I can find this. Set pen, oh yeah, here it is. Set pen size to 5. We're going to be, the line thickness is going to be 5. I find that I enjoy it the most. If you want to mess around with it, go ahead and mess around with it. Change it up a little bit if you want to. You can do whatever you want though. Set pen color, choose whatever pen color you want. Let's do like a blue, nice blue. There we go. Now we're going to erase all, which I'll explain why it erases it all. So it's drawing the maze once every frame, once every like 0.1 of a second, 0.001 of a second, super quickly. So if it's constant, if we don't hit erase all, if we keep this out, it'll keep drawing over itself and eventually we won't be able to see anything. So when it erases all, every single time we hit draw, which happens every second, because if you remember over here, we set it up for sense. So you see sense, it senses, and then broadcasts one draw. It draws once, does it all, and then does it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. So we put the erase all in there, so it erases it, draws it again, erases it, draws it again. Don't worry, you won't be able to notice it. It'll be completely unnoticeable to the human eye. You'll be fine, trust me. Go ahead and hit your pen up, and what that does is that'll make it so when you're drawing, right, and you're writing, your pen is down on the paper. So if you want to draw somewhere else on the paper, you lift the pen up. So when you move the pen, now it's not drawing on the paper. That's the same as here. So we're saying the pen is now off of the paper and is now not going to be drawing no matter where we move it. Make a variable called column. Again, you can call it whatever you want. I'm just calling it column for the sake of, being easy. And we are going to hide column. We don't need to show that. And we are going to set column to 1. Alright. Now we are going to grab a repeat. Where is it? There it is. Repeat. Come down to your variables. Length of distances times. It's going to repeat however many times is in length of distances, which in this case, you can see the length is 96. It will repeat this thing 96 times again. Why don't you just put in 96? Because this is better. Trust me. That number can change. That 96 might be able to change a little bit. It won't now, alright? Because we're making sure that it constantly is doing only the length of the distances. Length of distances. Yeah, shush. So come to pen. Do set pen brightness to go ahead and grab yourself an addition, and then inside that addition you're going to put a multiplication on this side, make this 50, and then grab a division, put that in this side, do 50 divided by 80, then come to your variables, put item column of distances, so whatever your column is, so 1, whatever 1 of distances, so it's 50 plus 1, because whenever it defines draw, it'll always set column to 1, so 50 plus 1 times 50 divided by 80, so 50 divided by 80, whatever that is, I don't want to do that in my head right now, 50 plus 1, 50, 51 times whatever 50 divided by 80 is. That's what it'll set the brightness to. What's that doing is just doing so if the walls are farther away, the brightness goes down or up. I think it's up because then it'll look more invisible, and then when you get closer to it, it'll get darker so you can see it more. Pretty cool, I know. Oh my goodness. We're going to do a set Y to go ahead, grab your division symbol and do -1200, and then item column of distances again. Item column of distances. Then do pen down. Then do pen down. Our pen is now touching the paper. We will now begin drawing when we start to move the sprite around. We are going to set Y to we're going to actually do it again. -1200 divided by item column of distances. Actually, wait, don't make that negative. Make that a positive 1200. I'm sorry. That would have just messed everything up right there if I didn't fix that. Pen up. Now we are no longer going to be drawing when we move our sprite around. Change your X by a 5. And set your column... change your column by 1. Alright, and now that's going to... So it'll set the column to 1 to begin with, and it'll draw your column 1. Then it'll do the math, it'll draw it, and then it'll change it, and then... not changed. Make sure that's column, not angle offset. Make sure that says column. Change it by 1, draw the second column, then third, fourth, fifth. You know how it goes. It goes over and over and over and over 96 times. Length of distances, however long that happens to be, which should be 96 anyways. So, what do we do now? That's about it, actually. Yeah, that is it. So just hide your distances thing, and you now have a 3D game. Look at that. See, that looks kind of weird, doesn't it? Well, again, that's because our starting room's kind of big. So I'm turning right now. All right, as you see, we're not actually moving. Do I have something messed up here? One second. I'm going to check through code real quick. Then I'll be right back. All right? All right. I've realized our problem. We're not going to move because we never set our speed to actually be anything. By offset, when you make a sprite, this sprite is automatically already set as 0 because we hit speed 0. So how fast do we want our player to move? You can do two things. You can either set this at the beginning, or if you want to set up a sprinting system, I just get rid of the speed variable altogether, and then set whatever you want. So let's in here. I'll make it 5, and then put 5 in there again because it'll just make it -5. Boom, -5. It's the same. You could put a -5. I think that looks better though. Also, it's a little bit quicker math-wise. So, save it. Hit that. Now look. We're still not moving. Alright, I still have something wrong in the code. We'll figure this out. Don't worry. Stop panicking, alright? It'll work. I have realized the mistake, everybody. I have realized it. Let's fix it. It is in our person sprite with our movement. I don't know why I did it like this. We need to have if else's. I'm sorry. So, take it out just like I did. Put an if else in. Put your right arrow there. And smack your right arrow code inside. Else, right? And then else, grab your entire left arrow script and put it inside just like that, right? And then again, you need to grab an if else. Put that in the bottom. Do up arrow, and then your move sprite, and then grab this entire down arrow script and put that into the else, and then you can just get rid of these two other if else statements. There's no need for them. Let's test it now and see if it works, or if there's still a problem. If there's not, we need to be able to troubleshoot and figure out what the problem is. So, here we are in this world, and we're still not moving around. What's the problem, man? Why isn't it working? I'll tell you why it's not working, okay? We still have a few more things to fix. So now let's fix them, so that it'll work. Alright everyone, I fixed it. There's a few math mistakes we had going on here that can easily be fixed. I've already fixed them and I'll run through them now with you. Nothing's wrong on our map, but in our person sprite, what we want to change up is, in here, we want to change, I just go ahead, just set move to whatever you want. I like 1.5, and I'd get rid of the math that we had here, and just do it for the negative of the exact number. Or if you want to make it slower to back up, make it slower to back up. It's kind of cool. Up here, change this instead of a multiplication to a minus and get rid of this number entirely. So just go ahead and do that. Do Control A and then hit backspace or Command A if you're on a Mac. That's all we need to change here. In our distance sensing, you can add this to our when the flag clicks, just so we make sure it resets every time. It goes to 100, go to person, delete all the distances, and show. And now in our sensing, some of the things we wanted to change is right here. Instead of the, I think we had multiplied by 80 or plus 80, do distance greater than 119. It works way better. And make sure this is map. I had this as edge, and I realized that. Don't have it edge. Have this map. That is touching map, not edge. And then that's all the same. And then in draw, this is another big problem that I realized. Change your y up here to 0 instead of the 128 or 180 that it was at. Make sure that it's 0. Still negative 237.5. That one still stays the same. Oh, this is good. Change this 80 when we had 50 divided by 80. Change it to a 120. This first thing right here just makes it look like when it's farther away, it's a brighter color. It just looks nice. I had these backwards. Make this first one 1,200 and the second one negative 1,200. I had them backwards. Change them to this. And yes, that is it. That is the 100% fix. If you have this code the actual way it is, just in case you don't, I'll run through it one more time. Here's this. Copy it. Here's this. Go ahead, copy. Here's this. Go ahead, copy. And here's this. Go ahead and copy. So, let's see if it works. Hit the green flag. Look at this. We're in this weird looking world now. And we can move. We can look around. And now what if we walk? And now we can walk forward. We see we have wall collision. We move up to a wall and we can't go through it. And yeah, we just have a big old maze to walk around. Kind of fun. This series will be updated. There'll be a few more things I'll have you guys add if you want to. For sure, I'll add a system where, like, if you press S or M, it'll show the map, and then you'll see a little sprite of your guy, and you can see which way he's facing and where he's going. I will add sprinting. I like to add sprinting whenever I make a 3D game. And who knows, maybe eventually I'll add a gun and some enemies. You never know. And I'll eventually also add level advancements. Like if you are doing a 3D maze, you go through the 3D maze, and then when you reach the end, you get transported to another one. You wouldn't think that'd be difficult, and it's really not. But yeah, so I'll definitely go through that in the future. This is what you have now. It is a working 3D maze. You can't go through the walls. Well, it kind of looks like you are. You're not. It's just how it's drawn. You're not going in the wall. It's okay. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Sorry, this is a bit of a longer tutorial. But who knows, maybe you guys like the longer tutorials. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, then like it. If you didn't like it anyways, because, you know, more Scratch tutorials are to come. And I think I might be starting another Minecraft series soon, because I do enjoy playing Minecraft quite a bit. And I'm not just going to stop playing it. Well, I haven't stopped playing it. I play it all the time. Just I don't record myself doing it. So, yeah, while you're at it, why not subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content? That helped me out a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.